problem. There is invasive fungal infection. This is causing serious failure for patients. Otherwise, the patient die within 2 to 3 days.
Healthcare has been a primary focus very recently. So we have seen a very bad pandemic time, a COVID time.
Hey Samvit, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going good.
So we have heard that you guys are out to revolutionize the medical diagnosis.
Absolutely. Like in Sorbit Innovation, currently we are diving into a sensor, then semicon area, and currently we are mainly focusing one product, that is nano sensor for early diagnosis of invasive fungal infections. So this is going to very transformative, and it's going to change the whole diagnostic spectrum. So here, through our technology, you can have a very faster technology, and it can even affordable. So it going to very fast. So it's very rapid. So it's there won't be need of any culture for bacteria, then virus and other pathogens. So it can reduce a whole time, and we can save a lot of patients through this rapid technology.
Oh, that sounds amazing. So what was the origin story behind it? How did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, the origin story starts during from my BTech days, like when I was doing internship at one hospital. So there I used to see a lot of problems people were facing, and there were a lot of problems in this healthcare industry. So I was more interested towards this healthcare startups, and also eventually I had to know, like there was one program starting by IIT Jodhpur and AIIMS Jodhpur, that is known as medical technology. Then I enrolled there in that program. Through this program, like there was one program in at AIIMS Jodhpur called clinical immersion. So here in the AIIMS only, we found one problem. There is invasive fungal infection. This is causing serious failure for patients who are in ICU or critical care. So for them, it should be detected at very early stage. Otherwise, the patient die within 2 to 3 days. They generally get sepsis. With sepsis, they die. So it should be detected at very early stage. So there should be some antifungal therapy can be started. So from there we got this idea, and by collaborating with some AIMS professor and IIT Jodhpur professor, we started this. And
So rather an inspiring origin story, what are the values? Let's talk about the values. What are the values of Sarbit Innovation?
yeah, like Servit Innovations is say innovation in the name. Like main value is of our company is innovations. Then is the precision. Then is the impact. In precision, like there should be precision in your sensor. It should be totally accurate, and also patients or any doctor can rely on it. So it should be completely reliable, and an impact. It should have some impact on the society. That's the main thing.
Talking about the impact, how much impact will it have in the society in the coming years?
Yeah, of course, this technology is having a very huge impact. If you see the global scenario, at least 1 billion people are getting affected with this invasive fungal infections. And you can imagine also 1 million people are dying each year globally with this invasive fungal infection. Even if you look into India, like there are 57 million people are getting affected with this invasive fungal infections. So it's very huge number. So if you like bring some such solution that can enable rapid and precise technology for accurately diagnosing invasive fungal infections without doing any culture and all, we don't need to depend on the culture it as because it will give results after 5.6 days. So we need some technology that can tell what kind of fungal infection, what kind of species of fungus is there with very like a few minutes. That would be good. So the impact would be huge because we can detect the fungus at very early stage.
Can you please walk us through the process of building a typical sensor from the start to the final product?
Oh yes, so we start from a thin slice of silicon called silicon wafer. So that is our starting point, and in our language we call it substrate.
Okay.
So from silicon substrate to a final sensor, there are multiple processes called unit processes, and this entire technology is called semiconductor microfabrication technology. So the unit processes which are there in this technology are thermal oxidation and thin film deposition systems such as RF sputtering, electron beam deposition system, thermal evaporation deposition system, and then there is a process called photolithography and metal etching. So these different processes ultimately helps in realizing a nanosensor or a microsensor. After we have fabricated the nanosensor or microsensor, there is a circuitry around it which completes the system. So, using these processes, we make different nanosensing systems which are useful in either gas sensing applications or environmental monitoring, food quality assessment, as well as some disease diagnosis such as fungal infection.
Okay, so your project on fungal infection sounds really interesting.
Yes,
So
yes.
what were the key challenges that you faced while you were developing that technology?
One of the key problems in most of the diagnostic methods is that the biomarkers, which are the signature molecules of a particular disease, are in trace level concentration. So, detecting a trace level concentration is very challenging for any kind of diagnostic method. So, currently the method which is used is either they multiply these biomolecules many times and to such a level that it is detectable. That process is called culture or fungal culture. And but the problem with this current diagnostic method is that it takes around 6 to 7 days in some cases.
Oh.
So, to overcome that, we have developed a nanosensor which can detect trace level molecules. So, this is how the sensor looks like. We call it SIRS nanosensor, and you see on the top of it, this is the active area of the nanosensor, and we put the sample droplet on the active area, and then this nanosensor goes to a reader and we are able to detect trace level molecules. The technology behind this is localized surface plasmonic resonance.
Okay.
So, using that technology, we can actually use it to detect trace level molecules.
So, sir, what are the other products that you are building on the similar lines?
So, this is the underlying technology, but this can be used for detecting any kind of molecules, such as it can be used to detect trace level pesticides in various food products such as honey or vegetables or fruits, and other product which we are building is for toilet odor monitoring. So, as you know that different toilets are very smelly, and most of these public toilets basically. So, the resource allocation is very challenging because the frequency of usage is different for different toilets. So, if we have some IoT based device which can give us a signal at some dashboard that this particular toilet is having higher order levels than the threshold, so it can be monitored. So, we can do the timely intervention to cleaning and the proper hygiene management.
Okay.
So, that is the another product which we are building.
So, why health? Why did you get into health sector only? And does this have other applications?
So that's very
yes.
interesting. And see, healthcare has been a primary focus very recently. So we have seen a very bad pandemic time, a COVID time, and especially in country like the developing country like India, we found we had no device in that area. We were not making any devices, especially in the medical domain. So that was a say eye opener for many of our policy makers that this area is neglected like anything. We were dependent on Western world.
Right.
So that the medical technologies have come as a focus area, and somehow the technologies we were working, they are very much relevant for healthcare. Apart from healthcare, we are looking for applications in environmental care and quality control, because our technologies are relevant in that area. So quality control for food products or the drugs or different kind of formulations where quality or the purity is important.
You are building for healthcare. So, how do you get the guidance? From where do you get the insights that you need to build this technology?
Yeah, so that's the important part. See, for any medical technology, the purview of the medical practitioners who are going to use this technology at the end of the day, their views are very important.
Right.
And fortunately, we have a MedTech program, which is a collaborative joint degree program between AIIMS Jodhpur and IIT Jodhpur. And this activity of some nanosensors development is a joint activity, and they are doing a mentorship also in this entire project during every step of. So to start with the markers identification, their testing, characterization. So that is the important part. So it is important part.
What will be your message to the young graduates or graduating here?
So I will say that yes, say all students have a desire to do something big in their life.
Right.
Fine. So the traditional way is graduate and go for some good jobs. Nothing wrong in it. That is fine. Many students have ambition to go overseas. That is also fine, because we are still developing. They are developed countries, so there is a fascination. But there is a growing fascination for the career as a owner of a company or owner of something they have developed. So that's why I will say that one of the good profession to take after your graduation or post graduation is your own company. You develop something of your own. You are the boss of your own then.
Right.
So you are not dependent on anybody else. And another important aspect in owning a company is you are not ruled by somebody else, and you are a boss and you are giving employment to many of your other colleagues in that journey.
True.
So I'll say that look for this entrepreneurship as a career, and IIT Jodhpur has a good option because the system supports, and the policy here is conducive for students. They can do patent, they can start as a company while they are studying in the undergraduate level also. So these are good support, and we have a clear-cut policy for entrepreneurship for all students.
So
they should explore.
basically, students have this opportunity to build something for the nation.
Yes, yes, for themselves, and then that is for the nation.
Right.
Pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.